A long time ago, we did a single-issue story to the book Bruce Lee. Well, we never completed that story, and we're not going to because they only did a single trade paperback. But they did come out with another single issue, and they asked if we would cover it. Since I'm a fan of the Bruce Lee storyline, I said okay. So enjoy the story of Bruce Lee awoken in the current modern-day age without any of his memories, but his family's alive. In our last video, Bruce Lee had woken up from a 40-year sleep in a lab, not aging, and not remembering anything about his past. With the help of his former student and best friend, Joe Tomey, Bruce set out to put an end to the lab that had held him, only to be confronted with more questions than answers. Now with the haunting vision of a woman from the shadows, Bruce now tries to find some solace and begin to rebuild the memories that he once lost. As the sun begins to raise over Comicstorian, the small makeshift hideout / break room is now filled with the wonderful songs of Ren's off-key singing. Joe grabs a bottle of the aspirin, asking him, is it him or does their pad seem a lot smaller now that Ren borrowed the karaoke machine? Almost makes a guy wish that they had another date with Katya and her squad of uglies. It'd be a lot less painful. But as Joe takes his pills, Joe tells Ren and Jax that it's time for them to leave Bruce alone. They gotta go fill their minds with knowledge while he fills the bank account. Everyone says their goodbyes, however, he sits in deep meditation and doesn't hear them. He sits there, concentrating, trying to focus on putting together the pieces of his shattered memory back into place. The only thing that he sees is the box that he woke up from and the mysterious shadow lady that put him there. As he reaches out to the woman, she begins to fade away, and then he awakens from his meditation. Seeing as now he has had a little time to himself, Bruce decides that maybe his time would be best spent going out to grab a bite to eat. He heads out with the Pearl Dragon flyer in hand, and he quickly realizes that he already missed the bus to Chinatown. An older woman pats the bench, telling him that the next one doesn't come for another hour. Looks like he's stuck waiting with her, but rather than waiting, he decides that he wouldn't like to sit around, and he starts to chase after the bus. After running between the cars in the streets, Bruce jumps into the back of a pickup truck and then goes through the open window of the bus. The bus driver quickly stops, shouting back that he doesn't really care where he got on, but either way, he still needs to pay the fare. With Bruce not having any money of his own, he's let off at the next stop. And as he begins to wander around the city, he hears a woman being mugged, calling out for help from a back alley. He runs in and kicks down one of the robbers, and as the woman runs away in terror, Bruce tells the men to give back the purse and apologize. The man Bruce kicked gets back up, pulling out a knife, stating that it's not going to happen, and since he's so intent on getting involved, you can hand over your wallet. Bruce maintains eye contact with the man, and then he smacks the knife out of his hand, and he follows up with a punch to the stomach and a kick to the face. The second robber sees his friend fall to the ground, and he turns to run, but instead of getting chased after, Bruce grabs a trash can lid, and then after a moment of preparation, he throws it, hitting the man's legs, and then he runs up, knocking him out. Bruce looks at the man, and he tells him that he should learn how to fight, or hire a bodyguard. As he leans down to grab the stolen purse, he can't seem to find the woman that it belonged to. And across the street, he spots an officer buying a ticket to the martial arts festival, and he runs over, trying to tell him that he needs to report a theft. The man looks at Bruce and he tells him that this is just a costume. And then Bruce turns to see a hallway filled with Bruce Lee merchandise. Before he can leave, a man from the crowd runs up to him, telling him that it's about time, Bruce. It's about time for you to go on stage. He drags Bruce Lee onto the stage and he tries to tell him that he's actually busy. He needs to report a theft. And the man laughs, telling him, that's a good one. Save the act for the stage. He pushes Bruce out of the curtains, and another actor then asks, really? You're supposed to be in costume. And Bruce says that he doesn't understand, and the man drags him around, calling out to the crowd that they have a special treat for them. They're going to kick off the 5th annual Martial Arts Film Festival by recreating one of the most famous scenes in Way of the Dragon. Let's hear it for Colton Tang. Bruce says that this has been a mistake. He's not actually a powered orange beverage. But before Bruce can even think about leaving, the Chuck Norris impersonator charges at him, ripping off his shirt, telling him, that's better. Bruce kicks the actor back, and he quietly yells that he needs to stick to the choreography. Bruce then asks what choreography, and the actor says, you know, the Way of the Dragon, the Bruce Lee fight that you're getting paid to recreate. The actor then runs back in to fight, but as Bruce Lee deflects the attacks, the actor steps back and waves his finger. Bruce Lee ducks another kick, and then he kicks upwards, knocking the man out. He grabs his jacket and he begins to run outside as he runs into the actor playing him, and he asks if he's late already. Bruce says that he covered for him, and in exchange, he'd like to borrow that tiny phone. The actor hands over his phone, and just as Bruce begins to call the police, the woman who owns the purse shouts that that man has her purse. The officers with the woman tell Bruce all right, he's gonna have to come down with them to the station. And a short while later, back at Comicstorian, Joe picks up his phone shouting, you're where? Joe's manager tells him that there's no personal calls during work hours. So Joe looks at his watch, telling him, you know, I was just about to go on my union-mandated lunch break. Bye! Back at the police station, Bruce is in the holding cell with some of the other criminals, and just as one of them tells him that he is in his spot, he swings at Bruce. Bruce kicks the man back, and as the other inmates gather around, Bruce asks, "Who would like to help me build a tunnel?" But once Joe gets there, he looks in the cell and he asks, "Do I really want to know?" Inside of the cell, all of the inmates are knocked out, and Bruce says that he believes that they're taking a moment to clear their mind of negativity, and he encouraged them to try it. Once Joe gets Bruce free, he asks what motivated him to take his little field trip, and Bruce tells him that he was hungry. So Joe then says that he knows that there's a deli counter at Costmart, right? Later, after Joe picks the kids up, Ren asks, "So you had a back alley brawl and you went to a festival about yourself? That sounds like an awesome day." Bruce smiles, telling them, "Actually, seeing all those people gathered around at the theater helped me realize that even if I don't remember, they do. And that is a gift all of its own." Joe laughs, telling him that it's too bad that he couldn't stay for the whole flick. He's really good in that one. Uncredited, of course. As everyone starts to get out, Jax asks, how do they jumpstart Bruce's memories? And Ren yells that if it involves bin watching his old movies, she's so in. So Bruce tells them that perhaps that is not how they do it. It's like finger pointing away to the moon. If you concentrate on the finger, you're going to miss all of the heavenly glory. Joe then says, well, right now we should be concentrating on a plate of mushu. Not that I'm profiling. The hostess of the Pearl Dragon opens the door and asks, family of 4? And Bruce says, see, our hostess is observing the moon. And there you have it. The book is linked down below if you want to get the original trade paperback to finish that story off, or if you want to get this book. It's a great little book from Darby Pop Publishing. I'm actually a huge fan of it myself, and I wanted to help them out. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little quick video on Bruce Lee. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel to get all of your favorite DC, Marvel, and independent book love right over here.